All right, here we are in lesson 13, video 1. And in this lesson, we're going to be dividing two-digit numbers by two-digit numbers in problems that result in one-digit quotients. So similar to what we did in lesson 12, except now we're really working on vertical form. So you see 95 is 19 times as much as what number here on our board? So what unknown factor equation can we write to represent this question? In other words, how can we write this as a multiplication problem, right? Unknown factor equation. So 95 equals 19 times blank. 19 times as much as what number? And there's our unknown. Could also be X or question mark. And remember that you can write it backwards. It does not have to be 19 times blank equals 95 because the equal sign is like the scale. So it's just these two sides need to be equal to each other, like a scale. Okay. So what division equation can we write to determine the value of the unknown factor? So if 95 is going to equal to 19 times something, then that's the same as 95 divided by, yep, you guessed it, 19, right? Multiplication and division are opposites. Okay, so we're going to still be able to find out this unknown by now dividing 95 by 19. And remember, we have these steps that we're going to use, and I have the list of steps here. Estimate, tape diagram, divide, and check. All right, estimate, tape diagram, divide, and check. So let's bring that back up again. All right, let's start by estimating 95 divided by 19. Well, 19 is close to 20, so let's change it to 20 so that we have a 0 on the end and is a power of 10. And something that's really easy to divide by 20 would be 100, right? Okay, and there's the estimate sign showing that this is our estimate below. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. And then that's just getting rid of 1 0, and this 0 is included in the 10. So the answer would be 5 there. That's our estimate, right? Okay, then our next step is our tape diagram. So let's draw ourselves a little tape diagram here. All right, and this entire tape diagram is the same as 95. Remember, you are writing these notes either on a page in your book nearby lesson 13 or on a piece of lined paper that you're going to keep with your book. So this is 95, and we want to see how many 19s can fit inside of it. And our estimate so far is 5. Estimates for division are a little bit different because we know that 5 times 20 is 100, which is just over 95. So we do have to remember that it's a little bit, our answer is going to be a little bit less, possibly. Okay, but might be close because we also rounded our 19 up to 20. We rounded both of them up. So we'll see what we got. But what it's going to help us with is that we're going to start with 5, right? So 95 divided by 5. And when you do the actual math, you got to make sure that you're using the actual numbers, right? So 95 divided by 19. Once again, 95 is, then we wrote 95, and then we put it in the house, and then we divide by 19. Okay, and we're going to start by 5. So now we need to know what is 19 times 5 really, right? Because we know that 20 times 5 is 100, but that's not the same as 19 times 5. So 9 times 5 is 45, and 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1 is 9, and it comes out exactly. Divide, multiply, subtract, and nothing to bring down. Okay, and then check our work. We can multiply 5 times 19, or we can double check our multiplication and make sure that it is correct. And it is. So that is checked. All right. Very good. Why might you choose not to make a tape diagram? Maybe, it's not that useful. It's not necessarily showing something. It is showing 19 times of what number is 95. But we are doing it in vertical form. So, it depends on the word problem if you need a tape diagram to make sure that you're doing the right thing. Okay. All right. Awesome. Let's go to our next problem. Okay, 84 divided by 6. So here we have an estimate, and here we have our division of that. And 84 divided by 16, sorry, I think I said 6, would be 80 divided by 20. We would need to round the 16 unless we knew 16 times something, right? So we're going to round to the nearest with the nearest power of 10, right? And as we have been, we're going to be able to get rid of both the zeros. Now we have 18 divided by 2, and the answer is 4. So let's check it. 4 times 16 is 64, and that leaves 20. Okay, now, is our estimate reasonable? We rounded the 84 down, we rounded the 16 up. 4 seems pretty reasonable, but what do you notice is the problem? Did you see that? Okay, so let's think of it as a word problem. I have 84 pieces of candy, and I'm putting 16 into each bag. How many bags do I need? I need 4 bags, but I have 20 pieces of candy left over. So I could make one more bag. Do you see that? All right. This is how much is left over after I distribute my 64 pieces, 16 in 4 bags, right? So here's my 4 bags, and I have 16 in each one. Okay. That means 4 lucky people are getting bags of candy, and then I have 20 left over. I'm just going to eat them myself. I could make another bag to give to another lucky person and put 16 in that one, right? And then that would be only 4 pieces left over for me to eat. Okay, so let's try 84 divided by 16. Now let's try 5 this time, because you see I have 5 bags, right? So 16 times 5. 6 times 5 is 30. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. So that's 80 with just 4 left over. Okay, so in other words, 16 is 16, 16, 16, 16. That's 5 times 16. That's 5 bags. I have distributed 80 pieces of candy, and I have 4 pieces of candy left over, right? So sometimes it's okay, we're making an estimate, but then when we do the division, we have to pay very close attention to what's left over, because if it's less than our divisor, then this number could go up by 1, and we could have 1 more. Does that make sense? I hope so. All right. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for your hard work.